Welcome to this live little Qigong class we'll be doing today. This will be in addition to yesterday's class, so part one of the workshop, part two. We're gonna get you all standing up right away into it. We're gonna cover ways to clear qi or stagnation through the body using Chinese medicine. This type of Qigong is medical Qigong. It's what I learned in college when I was studying in Toronto, plus a mixture of things I've learned on my own. So the idea here is we're going to be moving the qi through the body, qi and blood to help clear stagnation out. So we're going to just start by setting our posture first. We have the feet facing forwards. This is super important. I don't want the feet out, and I don't want the feet too far apart. So in front of us, just under the knees. And then here, right where my man button is, I want to lift up. So at the back of your neck, you're lifting up, and then you just drop your hips and bend your knees. So we want a very gentle stance with this. If standing becomes challenging, you can have a wall around you. If balance is an issue, you can have a wall. You can also do some of these seated. So just do your best, and I'll try and give modifications as we go. So from here, we'll just close the eyes, relax the shoulders in a neutral position. We don't want the chin forwards. We want it neutral over our body, breathing through the nose, tongue on the roof of your mouth. From here, breathing in deeply through the abdomen, very gently. Setting the intention to let go of anything that happened earlier in the day, or the week, or the month. Releasing any thoughts of the future, worries, anxieties, fears, desires. We want to allow the mind to settle into the present moment of the body. We're going to start with a joint rotation practice. So if you have any joint pain, in between the joints, there's this type of fluid called synovial fluid. It needs to be manually moved in order to bring in nutrition and remove waste. So in Chinese medicine, when these things don't move, stagnation builds up, pain arises. So we want to work from head to toe. We'll start from the top. So just the head, bringing the chin to the chest, and then the back of the head back. So tucking the chin and looking up. I'm not forcing any range. I'm not pushing through. This should be just a gentle up and down movement of the head. The idea here is we want to start from top to bottom. The brain has a bridge through the neck and the spine. So if any nerves are pinched in there, it's going to cause issues throughout the whole body. So we want to start by mobilizing the neck, clearing stagnations through here. Then we're going to look left and right. If you're someone that wakes up in the morning with a lot of body pain, you can do this kind of routine in bed as well. Just start by moving the neck a little bit and working your way down as we go through this routine. Then we'll take the ear to shoulder. Then we'll go neck circles. Both directions. Come into the shoulders. So I'm just going to pick them up to the ears, from the back, down, and forwards. Up, back, down, and forwards. I like to just focus on this back rolling motion to open up the posture. Get the nerves from the neck through the arms opening. For someone with a lot of neck and shoulder pain, you want to do this in a relaxed way, where you're just calmly bringing in the shoulders without having to squeeze and engage too much. turtle turns its head. So this one, I'm gonna show it to you in two parts. I'm gonna take the thumbs and point them towards yourself. We're closing the shoulders forwards in this position. Then we're gonna inhale, rotate the thumbs out, open the chest. Exhale, close, inhale, open. Now while maintaining that, we're gonna add a rotation. So from internal, we're gonna external and look back. And come forwards on the exhale. Inhale, looking back. Exhale, rotating forwards. One more time. Opening up the spine, bringing freedom in the nerves, moving the chi and blood. We're gonna go for spinal flexion and extension. So top of my forehead, towards my belt buckle, I'm gonna flex my spine forwards. I'm gonna take the back of my head towards my butt, extending the spine. Flexion, extension. Fine. Exhale as you flex. Inhale as you extend. Keeping those knees bent, feet facing forwards. Take this idea of the crown of the back of the head lifting up, my hips dropping down. Really important for this next one. There's a decompression happening in the spine. That's going to side bend one direction. So my hand is essentially sliding down my leg, but it's happening with decompression. So my spine is doing this and not collapsing and closing down. Switch to the other side, side bend. Try not to rotate right now as you do this, so try and make it just a pure side flexion. And take a few breaths hanging out here. Both directions. Come back to the hips. So just gentle circles. And keeping those feet forwards, knees slightly bent. We're still trying to maintain that decompression in the spine throughout the whole time. Switch directions. Down to the knees. So just about a fist width apart. Just gently circling in one direction. If you feel any pain with QiGong, probably doing it wrong, so just be more chill, more relaxed, more slow with your movements and intentions. We want to help the body repair. We don't want to feel pain as we do this. Switch directions. Then having a wall is going to be really useful, or a chair or a railing or something to balance with. Stand on your left leg, knee slightly bent. Still trying to decompress and rise from the top and drop from the bottom. We'll take this front leg and just go across. If you have leg pain, knee pain, anything, you can also do this with your butt leaned against the wall. You can also do this while you're seated, just to help you work your way up to the full standing version. Take that right leg and swing it front to back. See, I'm keeping this left leg bent. That's allowing the knee stabilizers to turn on. If I straighten and extend it, it's going to go into my back. I want to keep the knee bent so that the leg is working and doing its job. So take this leg and bring it behind and just go across again as we did in the front. Now, when I was about 15 or 16, I started training a sport called judo, which is basically where you grab the other person and try and throw them onto the ground as hard as you can. I did this for about 5-6 years. I got my black belt. And needless to say, when you get your body thrown on the ground multiple times, probably like 50-60 times per session, things break. So I've damaged every single joint in my body, my spine, my neck, my ankles, my knees, my hips, wrists, all of it. We'll switch sides. Now bring the leg in front. This routine, I've been doing it for quite a long time, is what I credit my pain-free body to. So every time I've injured myself, I've always tried to come back to moving the joint because that is helping to clear stagnation. If you watched yesterday's class, you know stagnation is the cause of disease in Chinese medicine. When we get injured, when things are stiff, when they're tight, when they hurt, we tend to stop moving them because we don't want to feel the pain, we don't want to injure ourselves more. But we need to introduce movement to help pump the system. It's kind of like a rusty car engine that hasn't been greased in a while. We're putting the WD-40, we're putting the oils in the joints, we're moving qi and blood, we'll go forwards and backwards. This is helping to clear stagnation. So on the physical plane, it's helping our bodies feel better, but emotionally and mentally, when we help the body feel better, the rest of it also follows. Take the leg behind. Almost done with our full body joint rotations. Always start a session with this. Helps get the mind and the body through all the parts, just to warm it up. Again, if you need a wall, you can do this while seated. You can do this while leaning your butt against a wall. Good. We'll put that down. We'll come back to our neutral standing position. Really, really important, feet facing forwards. I'm someone that's trained this kind of thing into my body from a lot of kicking and stretching. So I tend to want to have to put myself into this, but that puts a lot of pressure into the lower back. So we want to make sure those feet are facing forwards, as long as there's no pain in the hips or the knees to do this. Not too wide. We're really focusing on the top of the head here, on the backside, raising, and the rest of the body dropping off of it. So every movement we do, we want this decompression happening in our body and not slumping and compressing. From here, we're going to do a very common QiGong move called pulling down the heavens. Don't worry too much about the breath right now. Just try and keep a neutral, calm breath, breathing through the nose, tongue, breathing through the mouth. And bring the arms up into a T position and a little bit in front of you. So about here, not right beside you, a little in front. Once we get to this halfway mark, we flip the hands up, and overhead, palms facing down. And I just bring my hands in front of my body. Down. So we'll do that a few times. Coming up, halfway mark, we don't pause, I'm just showing for demo. Top, we come down. And as you're coming down, you're trying to sink and release the hips downwards while maintaining the head up. Feel free to close your eyes. You don't need to go at my own pace on this one. Whatever pace feels good for you to come up, down. This movement helps to bring qi out of the head and back down through the body. So a lot of stress, headaches, anger, frustration, overthinking, worrying, anxiety, is chi coming up to the head and getting stuck. So we want a gentle way to help that chi move back down through the body. Have an even distribution of weight in your feet. We definitely don't want to be leaning back in our heels and stacking. We don't want straight legs. We want a nice bend and the weight coming through around the middle of the foot. So evenly distributing everywhere. There's different ways to do this, but for today, we'll just stick with the middle. So this is probably the easiest move that we're going to do. Throughout your day, you don't necessarily have to dedicate an hour of QiGong. If you're feeling a little stressed, you're feeling all those symptoms I told you, anger, frustration, anxiety, headaches, just take a few minutes, calm the breathing down, allow your energy to sink back down out of your head. And when you finish your next one, just bring the hands by your side. Take a few breaths and really notice how your body and mind are feeling. For me personally, when my mind starts to spin stories, go into the future or the past, instead of trying to shut it down, very simple technique is to think about any time you've ever gone on vacation. You've flown for 30 hours, you're very tired. You finally open the door to your hotel room and you get into bed and it's just like, amazing, relaxing feeling. So I'll verbally or mentally just go, and that helps to sink the chi, relax the body, and release tension. A major part of QiGong is being able to release tension when we're stressed, when we're angry, when we're balled up. We don't even know this, but our face scrunches, so we're very tight. Very hard for the body to heal and deliver nutrients in this position. We want that state of mind to be calm and releasing. We're going to go into one for the liver, just to help clean out frustration and stress. We'll start gentle. You can do this one seated or with wall assistance as needed. But we'll start gentle to the ability that you can lift the arms up without any pain. So if there's some shoulder pain, there's no point into going into this position. Just stop here. You're going to breathe in and then exhale down. Come back up. And then exhale down. Inhale. We're letting all that chi, that stress, frustration drop down into the ground out of the body. Depending on how your body feels today, you can add a little bit more energy. If this is too much, just do the little gentle version where you don't go down so much. Try and get that state of, I just arrived in my hotel room after 30 hours of traveling. I want to get the mind and body relaxing with these movements. Tight mind doesn't let the chi flow very efficiently. And you'll notice as we do these practices, I don't do any complex choreography or complex movements. For sure you can, but it gets in the way of the actual intention that we're trying to do here. Just trying to relax the body and stimulate a healing state rather than trying to do complex dance choreography. Feel free to close your eyes, go at your own pace. No rush. One more, and come back to our standing neutral posture. It's forwards, back of the head is upright, hips drop. This helps to decompress the spine. A lot of organ issues, back pain issues are just from compressed spine. The spine from the brain down to your butt has different innervations of nerves. So the ones that are here tend to go to the heart, to the lungs, to the spleen, to the liver, to the intestines, to the kidneys. So if you have those organs getting blocked due to these kind of immobilities and compressions in the spine, the organs aren't going to get proper nutrition. So we need to decompress and open so those nerves can flow properly and feed the organs. So from here, we're going to work on the water element. This is related to kidneys, the bladder. Main signs and symptoms this will be good for is tinnitus, or ringing in your ears, low back pain, knee pain, frequent urination at night, cold hands and feet, anything with the bones. This is really good as you age to take care of your kidneys. So from here, I want to use my legs to drive this movement. I don't want to use my arms. So I'm going to just use my legs and hips to rotate my body from left to right. Now, as I do this, I'm trying to stay on one central axis. So as I'm leaning and rotating, I don't want this happening. If you have a lot of back pain or hip pain, you can also do all of these in a seated position for the most part. I'll just give you a quick idea. I'm seated on the edge. I can use my hips here to rotate and come into the next part of the practice, or I can do that original throwing the trash down. What we're doing, we're pulling down the heavens. Everything can be done and modified. So modify as needed. From here, left to right, I'm going to let the arms swing more. But it's really important my hips are rotating, my legs are working here. Kidney and bladder channels go to the feet. We need to get those feet involved in the whole system. Hips are dropping, back of the head staying tall. At the very end now, I'm going to gently bend this elbow and tap my lower back. Tap the lower back. We're trying to stimulate the kidneys, the organs. These QiGong practices help to, one, open and close the channels. So that's where the acupoints will lie. But it also helps to compress and decompress the organ. So you can think of your organs kind of like a sponge. If your sponge just sits on your counter wet, bacteria starts to grow. We need to wring the sponge out to allow new fluid to come in. So what we're doing here is we're gently compressing and releasing the kidneys. This is also going to be really good for digestion. So once you get the backside, you're going to be tapping around the belly button height, diagonal to the other hand. So these hands are tapping diagonally to each other. So on the front side, we're helping to stimulate kidney, spleen, and stomach acupoints. On the back side, we're tapping the kidney organ itself. But don't worry about copying my pace. It's better off if you just close your eyes, breathe into your nose, and connect internally. You're not really trying to do anything other than release your mind and relax. So that state where you go, As long as we can achieve that, with a little hip dropping, decompressing the spine, gentle rotation, you're doing good. Try not to keep your weight in your heels. We don't want to be leaning back as we do this. We want weight through the middle of the foot, knees slightly bent, hips dropping down, back of the head rising. And so what we're doing beyond just working with the chi and the energetics is we're taking the spine that's often very compressed and we're allowing it to open and rotate. And in between all of these vertebrae, we need to rotate the discs that exist inside there to help bring nutrition in and waste out. The body, the heart, the heart essentially can't really bring nutrition into the joints. You have to move it. One more tap, and then just let the arms come down to the side. Getting our alignments back. This is still an exercise, even though the body's not moving. A bit of a tricky one. I'm going to show you a few variations. This is called a spinal wave. So if you've noticed, with most of these qigong movements, it's about moving the spine. We want to open the spine. So the easiest version for this, we do it seated. Doesn't matter. You can do this in bed. If your back is hurting, you just want to warm up your back. You bring the head towards the belt. So I'm rounding my back. From here, it's really important that I maintain this quality of dropping the hips and raising the back of the head. If I just slump and close, I'm forcing my joints closed. Imagine like the back side of my body, there's a line of energy that's coming up and lifting the back of the spine that's causing it to curve forwards. Okay, so it's because there's a rising that's happening or pulling apart that the front closes. Then on the front side, the same force comes and makes me open in the other direction. So essentially on both sides of my spine, I have this upwards and downwards force pulling apart. And now I just add a little bit more power to the back side, which makes the front side closed, but the front side is still trying to open. I'm not sinking and collapsing. Both sides are trying to open, just one side is getting a little bit more power. Once you can get that, then we want to add a little breathing. So I inhale as I open nice and slow. Exhale to close. You don't have to have your hands here. I'm just showing you. We're closing this distance in the front versus opening. Now, if this version is challenging enough, stick with it. I'll show a slightly more advanced version called the spinal wave, where we try to take this extension and flexion and send a wave up the spine. So it would look like this. Put my arm somewhere you can see. So this is, let's say, a big external version of it. It doesn't need to be this big. I just want you to be able to see that there's a wave backwards, coming up the spine, and forwards up the spine. So essentially I'm hitting the flexed position, and then from the bottom up into the extended position. I'm keeping my upper back extended while I flex the lower. And I keep my upper back flexed while I extend the lower back. So I do this by imagining there's a wall in front of me here. Yeah. I want to put my knees to the wall, then my hips to the wall. Then I put my belly button to the wall, sternum, neck, chin. Now there's a wall behind me on my butt. We use that door. I move my butt, lower back, middle back, upper back. You can actually use a wall. That's a good exercise. I just don't have a wall that would align for y'all to be able to see me. But you can, for yourself, use a wall to block, to guide you. To get this spinal wave going through the back. We really want to be able to articulate and move the spine. In Chinese medicine, they say you're as old as your spine. You need to have supple, mobile, hydrated spines that can move well. We want to have good organ health, right? From the brain, the bridge of the neck, through the spine, and then all those nerves come out into the organs. If the spine itself is immobile, it's grimy, it's stagnant, those organs are going to end up having diseases in them in alignment to that stagnation. So if this is too tricky, just stick with the flexion, maintaining the separation or the decompression. And once you feel like you've gotten that, you start to work towards spinal waves. And spinal waves don't need to be big. Small spinal waves like this are also very beneficial. Give you 1 more minute with this. Using this one for digestion, but it will help with all the systems. Get a little bit smaller and come back to your standing neutral posture. Feet forwards, underneath you, knees slightly bent, bringing the back of the head up and dropping the hips down. Weight is through the middle of the foot, not on the back. You don't want to be leaning backwards. Just reconnect to the breath. Keeping that theme of mental relaxation and release. Gentle smile on the face also helps. We want to help with the lungs. Lungs is associated to immunity, to breathing, your nose, the sadness and grief. So if you're grieving, if you're trying to let go of something, this is a great one to do. Optional is to do this one seated. This would not be a bad option at all. So I will demonstrate it seated and then I'll go standing. It's important to ideally not have the back of the chair, or if you do, just be more seated to the front. When doing these practices too, it's beneficial to be more seated to the front and have some weight through the feet if possible, versus leaned back and relaxed with all these. So here, we're going to be doing 3 parts for this. So first part is going to take the thumbs up. I'm going to inhale and move my chest and head forwards, as long as my back doesn't hurt or cause any pain. So I'm moving my head and chest forwards. I'm bringing my thumbs back and open. Then I exhale, I bring my head and chest back, and I close the hands. Inhale forwards, exhale backwards. So this is working the metal channels that go into the index finger and thumb. That's your large intestine and your lungs, associated to sadness and grief, your immunity. So what's happening here is I'm rotating the thumbs up, I'm opening the channels, closing the channels. And then with my lungs, I'm opening the organs, big breath in. And then exhale, closing and squeezing out the toxins from the lungs. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. You are totally able to just do this standing. So if you want to stand, you're welcome to. Don't need the chair. It's just a little bit easier to get this motion if you are seated. Again, close the eyes, breathe through the nose, tongue on the roof of your mouth. We're not going into pain. It's not about who can go the furthest. Of course, I can bring my head all the way back. Not about that. But just gently connecting the body, breathing, allowing it to move. In fact, if we go too far, it tightens up the muscles, stunts the flow of qi. We want to be relatively relaxed as we're going in and out of these. Second part, I'm going to keep my head in the same position, and only my chest is going to move forwards and backwards as I do this. As I inhale, thumbs come up and back, I move my chest forwards, but don't let my head go over it. So head stays in the same position, chest comes out, inhale. Exhale, chest moves backwards. Inhale. This is similar to turtle turns its head that we did in the warm-up. As you come forwards, you can turn the thumbs down and gently touch the index finger and thumb. Here, you can also be a little intense on the shoulders, so take breaks as needed. I'm going to finish with the third part. So we're basically hitting the lungs and the upper back in different angles to help open up the spine, to open up and close the lungs. The last one, I call it the McDonald's M. We're going to turn the thumbs down towards you, and I'm rounding. I'm trying to round from my upper back, not from my lower back. So it's not about putting my hands on the floor. It's about closing the chest. So thumbs down, close the chest. Then I inhale up, lift the chest and make a McDonald's M. Palms facing forwards, I'm opening up from here, not from my lower back. So if you feel low back pain, that's an error. I want upper back opening and closing. Then we close, exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This is one where I actually prefer doing it standing. So I'm going to switch to standing. So we start in that same turtle turns its head position, closing from the upper body, not from the lower body. Inhale up. So right now my upper back is opening. Exhale down, close the upper back. Once you get that on your own pace, just close the eyes. Time and then come back to our standing neutral posture. Don't wait until the heels. We want to sink through the middle of the foot, letting the hips drop, keeping the back of the head up, shoulders relaxed, going into that state of mind. Hold down the heavens again. Inhaling up, exhaling down. That is how it's taught, but unless you're gonna hold your breath for quite a while, you're gonna end up taking more breaths in between. So don't necessarily worry about inhaling up and exhaling down, but understand that the general idea is that on a gentle lift, and then as I carry it down. If I have to take an extra breath or two, that's okay. Times at your own pace. Next one, we're gonna put the hands just underneath the belly button, stacked on top of each other. A little bit of meditation practice. So you can sit in a chair or on the floor or with a meditation cushion, whatever's comfortable for you. I'll just use this for now. But you're welcome to sit cross-legged, whatever's comfortable for you. This, if you love lotus, we're just gonna do about 5 minutes of sitting, nothing crazy. Take about 1 minute to find your position. It's really important if you're seated to be forwards in the seat, so like you're at the edge of the seat, a little bit leaned forwards versus back and leaning against the chair. We want an attentive, alert mind that's up and lifted, and I want my body to be supporting itself. So really important, energetically, the body is kind of like a guitar. If I take a guitar string and I take all the strings and I tighten them or loosen them, that's like doing this to the body. And when I strum and try to put energy through it, it's not gonna vibrate or make a harmonious sound. So if we're trying to meditate, do energetics, do qigong, we want that decompression of the spine. So I'm still thinking about my hips sinking down while keeping my back of the head elevated and upright. If I start to sink, that's like detuning the guitar. We want to have a nice, upright, tuned guitar so the energetics can flow. So from here, the real practice is going to be to build equanimity. So the ability to accept positive and negative feelings is really, really important if you want mental and emotional stability and to cleanse old trapped traumas. So to do that, we're going to do it through the physical practice, holding your position and not moving. So once you found your spot, we're gonna spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, nothing crazy. And I want you to avoid any scratching, itching, moving, adjusting your neck, adjusting your back. Just try and sit comfortably for the next 5 minutes, starting from now. Ideally, keeping your eyes closed, breathing through the nose. And when a discomfort arises, you don't let it disturb you. Of course, if you have sharp shooting pain in your body or real limitations, please move. Otherwise, if it's just aching or sore or your muscle starting to hurt a little bit, you really need to scratch. This is building emotional resilience and capacity by choosing not to allow discomfort to move you. If you notice something on the body starts to really draw your attention to make you want to move, just remember that state of mind. Just trying to calm the mind, relax it, accept whatever's happening. Your mind is wandering, just gently pull it back to the body. About 1 minute left, so give me a high level of concentration, focus, staying with the task and not moving, while keeping the body in that calm state of mind. attention and awareness to your ears. So just notice whatever sounds is going on around you. Bringing the senses to the outside environment, out of the body. Bringing awareness into the skin, noticing what sensations are arising. Sense of your clothing, heat, cold. Just gently wiggling the fingers. Toes. To just gently open the spine, left to right, a few times at your own pace. Back together. So in Chinese medicine, stagnation causes disease. Emotions cause internal disease. Emotions stagnate when we are having them for prolonged periods of time. So an event happened to you 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 4 years ago, 20 years ago. If your mind keeps bringing that up and stimulating the body into that emotion, then it's considered negative. Then it's a stagnation of energy that keeps compounding and building rather than being allowed to be released. The analogy I like using is having to go to the bathroom. If for 1 or 2 days I decide, hey, I'm not going to have a bowel movement, I'm just going to hold it in. Okay, I could probably do that. If I keep eating, the shit just keeps building and building inside of my intestines until eventually it just comes out and I explode on someone else, I explode on myself. This is the same with emotions. So in order to release emotions, clear the stagnation and avoid chronic disease, we need practices like this QiGong where you can just mentally, ah. Now we need that mental, with a little physical stimulation or an acupoint stimulation or even just a seated practice. The seated practice builds a quality called equanimity. Without equanimity, you just keep repeating and the trauma doesn't actually heal through. The emotions don't clear. So unless you're actively trying to build a quality of whatever happens, I will accept it. I will not react to it. Someone yells at me, someone cuts me off, someone says something mean, I do something bad. I don't react to it. I don't allow my emotions to take over. That doesn't mean not feeling the emotions. It doesn't mean numbing it. It's actually the opposite. The faster, if you want to clear emotions and stuck traumas faster, the more you can feel them with a high level of concentration and equanimity, the faster that shit comes out of you. It's like taking laxatives. You need those three components. I call them the three pillars. If you want to find out more about this, the book, The Science of Enlightenment by Shinzen Young is a really good resource. Three pillars: concentration, sense clarity, and equanimity. Concentration, can I stay present on what I'm trying to do? Sense clarity, can I actually feel what's happening without numbing it? And equanimity, can I accept without reacting to what is coming through? Oftentimes the body wants to have these releases, whether we trigger them with these kind of practices or it's just randomly happening. The quality of equanimity, acceptance, non-reactivity is what will dictate your ability to release and let go. So that 5 minutes we did is probably one of the most important practices you can start with to build equanimity. Yeah, my shoulder starts to hurt a little bit. I get itchy. It feels like bugs are crawling on me. I'm bored. I just want to move. I'm not increasing my capacity to sit with discomfort. So just like going to the gym, first day I lift 5 pounds, next day I lift 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 50 pounds. Now 100 pounds is like nothing, 200 pounds is like nothing. When I come across a real object in the world, This is only 5 pounds. It's no big deal. I can lift it. Same with emotional and mental. Unless you have a way to practice it and build the capacity that someone throws 50 pounds of emotional weight at you, but you've practiced with 500 pounds, 50 pounds is nothing. You can remain calm and give a rational response and reaction. If you've never trained that, and 20 pounds of emotional trauma or weight thrown on you is just like, oh my God, I already have 500 pounds of emotional weight on me. And now you're saying that you don't want to, I don't even know whatever negative thing that comes up. So this practice of sitting, start with 5 minutes, just relax the body, relax the mind, and do not move. The do not moving, when your body's like, oh, I'm itchy, I'm scratchy, I'm getting bored, my back is hurting a little bit. That is you going to the gym and lifting your mental and emotional capacity muscle. If you move, you're deconditioning that muscle. So if you can sit 10, 20, 30 minutes without moving, you can really handle that discomfort that arises. Then when someone yells at you, when something bad happens to you in real life, okay, I've dealt with discomfort. I understand what to do. I can just breathe through it, calm my mind, and not react negatively. Shannon says, ooh, that was hard at first. Yes, it is quite challenging at first. You don't want to, the other end is like, I don't want to just put myself in the pretzel and, okay, now I'm not going to move for 30 minutes just to build my confidence. You don't want to sit in discomfort. You want to build up your ability to sit with whatever physical, mental, emotional, spiritual challenge is coming through and allow it to heal through. Sharisha says, best hour of my day. Glad you enjoyed this. Oh, one thing before you leave, I forgot to mention. I just want to give you a quick 15-minute routine you can do on your own. This is for free. I usually sell it. Actually, I'm going to give you the morning routine and an evening routine. So if you have difficulty getting up in the morning or going to sleep, this is going to help you. Let me just see how I share that the easiest way. Yeah, okay. So y'all should be able to see my screen. This was from yesterday. If you didn't get the RAD protocol, get it. You can either scan this code or just go to here.radicallab.ca/stagnation. This is for free for you. Just a little gift. If you want to come join me in person, I'm doing 2 retreats this year. One is in Austria. It's going to be really beautiful, end of June to July. Really nice food, small group. This is not going to be a large group. And we're going to be training QiGong, doing these practices. Also in Mexico, if you want to come out to Mexico with bioculture, we're going to be doing a group there. And then morning and evening QiGong routine. So if you just go to radicallab.ca/morning QiGong or scan this code, it should also take you there. You'll get access to my morning QiGong routine, which is just a simplified 15-minute version of this. And then my evening routine as well. It's basically just me talking you through calming down the body to fall asleep. So use those resources. And Patricia, thank you so much. Great information. Practice felt so good. Glad you enjoyed. Wish I made it earlier. Deborah, I'm going to be sending out a recording. So feel free to check out your emails for the recording of this. Watch it as many times as you like and need and enjoy. If your body feels good right now, the more times you keep doing it and coming back to it, the better it's going to keep feeling. I also give you the 15-minute version because sometimes we don't have an hour. Just take the 15. I think in the RAD protocol, there might be a 5-minute version. If you have that, whatever you can do, just do it. Shauna, thank you. Wasn't able to scan as I'm using a phone watching on your phone. That's okay. You'll get the recording and it'll be available to come back to. Alejandro, thank you very much. Very constructive lesson. Karen, thanks everyone for your comments. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your healing information. It's my pleasure. It's my joy to share this. If you want to come, live retreats are the way to go. Otherwise, use the information I've given to you to keep pursuing. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Let me know how you felt. And I'm wishing you all a good evening. I'm assuming it's evening for most of you. It's about 10 a.m. where I am. But enjoy your evening. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you in the next event that I choose to do. Take care, everyone.